I never knew what people meant when they said they felt lost in their 20s, but I think I'm finally starting to understand. Being lost in your 20s doesn't always mean you have no direction on where you're going in your life, but maybe that life isn't going the way that you expected.
Oh, the ducks are...
Oh, you can say it.
I was gonna say they're gonna start breeding because this is when they start having little ducklings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be in a almost six-figure job by now, a successful career and happy work-life balance, but no, instead I do not have a job and I had to spend my days sitting at home figuring out what to do. This time is a sabbatical for me to resolve my anxieties, the many anxieties I have surrounding work-life culture. One thing to know about me is that I've been diagnosed with OCD, and it does permeate its way into how I think about my work life whenever I do have a full-time permanent office job. The OCD makes me overthink things like my value in the workplace, the money that I get paid and if I deserve it, and every day whether or not my work is good enough. None of it really matters because all you have to do is be okay at your job to keep it. You don't have to be spectacular, and no one's expecting that from you, really. That's just the thoughts of a lifelong overachiever. Perfection, expertise, and being at the top of your game are what I thought the work culture always expected of each individual person, but as I'm getting older and going longer without a job, I'm realizing how ridiculous that sounds. How is a person expected to work at 100% or more capacity every single day? They're just not, and so you don't have to worry about all these things being perfect all the time. You just have to get in, do the basics of your job, and get out. I also harbor some anxiety around giving up this relaxing lifestyle of not having to go to work every single day, because currently I work part-time in retail, and I worry about the next job that's going to force me into the 9-to-5 hustle work culture that I don't necessarily want to be a part of. I worried about this until I realized that no one's going to force me into a 9-to-5 job again. I have choice too. I'm able to decide if I want to take a job or not. The job cannot force itself upon me, and I'm lucky enough to be in a financial situation where I can sustain myself still even without a full-time 9-to-5 job. Not everyone has the privilege of being able to do that, but if you do, that takes away some of the pressure. I was gonna say we should try going on a hike again with the LGBTQ group.
I was thinking about that.
But I tend to work Saturdays. So I'm not sure if I can. Hello.
They just gotta say hey to everybody.
Hello. No problem.
We'll let y'all pass. Hey. No, you're family. If we set up the tent, where would we be?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there's not really a spot except for the middle of the field. That field at the very end.
Oh. What if we camp over there?
Yeah, maybe we should. The worst that happens, the police roll up and say, hey ladies, you can't camp here. As some of you may know, I've experienced being fired from a job recently. I worked at this one place for about 3 months before I got fired for tardiness to meetings and honestly accidentally dozing off during meetings. The details aren't really important, but what I've learned from that situation is that I'm not going to be amazing and great at every single job, but it's okay. You don't have to do every single job in the entire world at max capacity and at 100% performance. You just have to find what you're good at, find out what you're comfortable doing and what you can tolerate doing, and just do that job. And so it's okay to go through a couple and make mistakes and have to realize that something is not meant for you. First, I had a fear of being fired at any other job that I tried to work at. But when I came to this realization that that job was specifically that job and each job is going to be different, there's no way of knowing how I'll do at the next job. And with that type of ambiguity, I actually feel more trust and comfort of the possibilities of being great.
What if after I get my GoPro, I'll become a video editor like you? Are you jealous?
Oh, no. That'll be pretty cool. And finally, it's okay that you don't have a job even though you're in your late 20s, but I'm realizing this is a part of life and this is a part of what's normal for a lot of people, and that this is just a temporary time period that will pass eventually, and there's just no pressure to be making a certain amount of money at a certain time in your life. Like, everyone's life is different, and a lot of times these people on social media who get instant success or fame overnight have distorted my thinking of how it should work for people my age. But most people are lost in their 20s, still trying to figure it out, whether it's their own choices that they've made or life circumstances that have been thrust upon them. Either way, it's a difficult and confusing time with a lack of stability, and it's no one's fault, but I think it's our right to live through this time period with peace of mind and comfort, knowing that one day there will be stability and that there are lessons to be learned in the instability at the time.
I want to go to the zoo again soon.
Okay.
Have we gone to the zoo together? Okay. Hi, Mr. Deer, Mrs. Deer,
Non-binary dear.
non-binary deer.